Today, I'm saying something that I never wanted to say, didn't think I'd ever say, but it's the end of the road for the drift game Supra. And that means we have a lot to talk about. No presenting, no hype. This is a video that I didn't really want to have to make, or a decision that I didn't want to have to make. You guys have been watching Drift Masters this year, it's been really tough. Like, I've qualified in Spain, thought things running up, crashed in Finland, and then 2 zeros at my home track. And to be honest, it's been the toughest challenge I've ever taken on in drifting. And I think I've taken it on in a car that is incredibly tough to drive. Speaking with all the other pro drivers that drive Supras, and asking them honestly, they say that it's a very hard car to make do what you want. It's on a knife edge. It works, you get a 90 run in your practice, but once you make a mistake, it bites you super hard. And I think I'm playing the game on too hard a difficulty for someone with my experience level, which is pretty much zero in Drift Masters. This car is a dream car. It's amazing, it performs well, it works well, it looks great, and when it works on track, I love it. I get a buzz, I get a rush, but too many times, it just makes me feel like I'm not a very good driver because it's so knife edge, whether the lap works or doesn't. It's taken drivers like Peter Wiensek, Simon Olsen, and guys like that 2 or 3 years to even be able to be consistent at one of these. And I watched Peter Wiensek at Drift Masters and realized that when he's not putting 99.5 runs on the board, he can be off the track. And he's a far better driver than I am. He's put so much development into the car, so many more laps. And it's been 650 plus days since he's got on a podium at Drift Masters, and the only difference has been a Toyota Supra. So for me, with the car absolutely perfect, I'm gonna lose my license. In Drift Masters, there is a drop zone, and right now, I'm in it. I'm in the bottom 3 in the championship, and this might be my only time in my life that I ever get to compete at Drift Masters at a high level. We're halfway through the season, and it's time to make a change. This car has been a dream of mine ever since they brought out the Supra. But that dream has been turning into a nightmare. My mentality has been getting worse, my confidence has been getting worse, and I'm not enjoying it. And with 3 more rounds to go, I've got 1 shot now to try and get some points on the board. And unfortunately, this car has been fighting me. Also, we go to the 3 most dangerous tracks in Drift Masters, and this car has absolutely no area on the car that if you hit, you get away with it. Everything's aluminium on the front, so 1 bang with the wall and you're out for the whole weekend. On the back, you've got no overhang. So if you touch a wall, you're touching the suspension, and that knife edgeness is just not something that I can deal with because it makes you scared at every run that you're going to crash the car. And if you do, your whole weekend is over. So, like everything we've done in drift games over the last couple of years, we're pretty self-aware. I'm not naive to my own abilities, and I think I've just made things way too hard for myself. So what I've decided to do is change to a different car for the last 3 rounds. One that is right-hand drive, easier to drive, more predictable. No more question marks on the setup because people have used them for years, and something that I started my drift career in and had my best success in. The problem is, that car isn't mine.
It's mine.
So Josh and I have had a long conversation off camera, and Josh has agreed that I can take his car to Drift Masters. However, there is some stipulations. But before I show you Josh's contract that I have to sign today to take the car, I'd like to remind Josh that this isn't the first time that someone has bought a car, built a car, and changed halfway through a season. So I found the perfect table for us to have a look at this contract, Josh, because, you know, just to remind you that I'm not so stupid, because there's been times, I'm not going to remind you of times, I'm not going to remind you of the times when things weren't working out for you either, and you switched similarly to the same car.
I'm sure a lot of you have probably got that reference. They've been long-time viewers, but I have a contract for you, Dave.
Okay. We have a contract.
It's non-negotiable.
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 It's also very formally written in capital letters, Josh. I like it, like a 4-year-old. Brilliant. Okay, so the contract is as such. Nice. Let's hope there's no spelling mistakes.
I was going to say, then it's not legally binding.
Contract spelt right. Number 1, the car must be returned as is. So what you're saying is I need to return it to you completely disassembled. Is that what you're saying?
As is when you take it.
Okay, that's not in the small print there, but okay, we'll allow that. 2, swap Supra till returned. That's very good legal speak there.
I'm pretty much saying because I'm not going to be able to use that car for anything this year, that I'm taking the Supra.
Supra's far more expensive.
I said non-negotiable.
I'm in a desperate place. You're driving a hard bargain here, Josh. Okay.
Well, wait till you get to this one.
And number 3. No. AZ1 engine conversion. We talked about
this isn't me. There has been thousands of comments asking for this. I don't want to do this.
Those thousands of people aren't paying for it, Josh.
The people want this.
I said that I was only doing the kit and the engine had to stay standard, and then you're now saying that I have to agree that the AZ1 gets an engine conversion to do skids.
This is called taking advantage of a situation.
I'm okay with the first 2, but the third one, come on, Josh, we're way too much money into that little stupid car as it is.
All 3, non-negotiable.
Okay, and then I guess these are the very legally binding.
These are the pink.
These are the pink slips of the Supra.
So
and
hang
the
on a
lower.
second. So that's my pink slip.
This is very low brain. Well, I want to keep my Drift Masters license, and I'll do anything to keep it, even put a bloody engine in the AZ1. And then you think that's easy. The other problem we have, Josh, is you're giving me a car that's just a bag of parts. It's not even finished. Let's go check it out. So right now you're thinking, Dave, great deal. You get back in a right-hand drive, back in a predictable chassis, something we know every setup on. It's V8, and it's what I know. That does sound good. However, this is the current condition 14 days before the car has to leave for Riga. Not good. We have to essentially build the entire car in 2 weeks, with everybody and anyone that'll help in Ireland to get this car to the boat. However, this project did start a couple of months ago from a bare shell after an engine failure. Let's go back in time to see how much has been done so far.
For anybody that hasn't seen this car before, let me introduce you to the low-brain PS13. This car has a massive reputation. It's been involved in some of the biggest moments in European drifting. It's had some of the biggest names in European drifting drive it. And over the years, it's become a little rundown, which is why we're going to give it a new birth of life.
We're going to be stripping it back to a shell, which some may say its personality is going. But I can promise you one thing. Once we rebuild this car, it's going to be louder, more powerful, and better than it's ever been before. Let the rebuild begin, guys.
Come on, Josh, we worked it out.
What is up, and welcome to today's episode, which is going to be a long one because yes, we are stripping the low brain car. And you may be thinking, why are we doing this to a car that was working so well? Well, I'll tell you why. Because this blew up. You may have seen or remember from the LZ World Tour, Laurie Heinen drove this car and it kind of made some bad smoke and some bad stuff happened in the engine. And to bring you guys up to speed, if you don't know what engine's going in this, we have a Mass Motorsport V8 in the Middle East that we're shipping over to go into this car. So yes, we are taking this engine out, which a lot of people would say is the heart and soul of the low brain car. But I can reassure you, the engine that's going in is going to be more powerful, higher revving, even better sounding. So in my opinion, it's taking this car to the next level. This car was built, I don't know, over 10 years ago. It was actually the first event I was working for the Irish Drift Championship. This car was debuted with Luke Fink driving. And those of you that know, he pretty much put it straight into the wall. But that's been fixed and everything. It's got a new chassis leg. Everything is 100% on the car now. But this car since then has never really had a full strip down and rebuild. Most of the repairs that I've got on this car is when the car has been broken at the track and it's been repaired at the track, so a lot of the things aren't the prettiest. So that is the full reason of why we're refreshing this car, is to pretty much just put some more life into it, because we're not getting rid of this car anytime soon. This is going to be with us for a long time. So we want to rebuild it our way. So when we're on the track and something breaks, Wayne, who's going to be running the car, will know every single inch of this car. But with that now said and done, it's time to take the engine out. Okay, so that is the engine out of the car. And it's this cylinder head that is, well, that's where all the problems happen when, from what we can see, the valve snapped, and then, what happened, Wayne? The valve snapped and then?
Start bouncing off the piston then.
Which is a bad bounce and bad time. So you can see the valve snapped there. So when doing these stripping cars and everything like that, it's good to be organised. So that's why we've got 2 boxes that has no organisation whatsoever, and every single bolt on this car is, well, how many bags have been used?
Will we open it or will we leave it? I thought that was Josh's lunch.
So yeah, this car was put together, all the bolts are rusty and everything like that. So we're literally going to start from afresh and put all new bolts into this car. So all my planning this morning for being organised is fairly wasted, and to be fair, there's not actually too much that went into this car. So we're going to bring it up to the power wash bay, power wash all of the years of grease that is under here, because I don't think it's ever had a proper wash. It's even mouldy, which is disgusting. So we're going to power wash it, make it all clean, and then I shall tell you what's going on with this car after that. So obviously we're going to clean up Sonax stuff, and we don't have the proper stuff, I don't think, with us, but we do have our wheel cleaner, which does say hard on dirt. So I think, yeah, there's a lot of dirt, so I think that should do the job. Nothing like a good snow foam. Sort of my spectacles.
If you are interested in any of the Sonax products, you can head over to our projects department where we stock the whole range.
So that's the car all stripped and cleaned, ready for its next step, which is fabrication. So some of the stuff on there, it's been on there a lot of years. It's been changed around, modified and stuff like that. So since we're going to this stage, we're just going to sort all those problems out. So it's going down to our good friend Ryan at Vital Fabrications, and the next clip is going to be him introducing himself, I guess.
So Ryan forgot to film anything, so here's an embarrassing clip from many years ago.
Okay, so obviously the GoPro idea didn't work out quite as well as I had have hoped, but a lot has gone off on the car and lots of stuff has arrived. So yeah, lots of parts. The most important part is in this box. And it's also the thing that I've been most looking forward to seeing and getting out. Oh, I'm knackered from doing that. Okay, so for any of you guys that have been a viewer of the channel for a while now, you will know that this is our Mast Motorsport V8 that we bought in the Middle East, and finally it has landed on Irish soil. So to break it down, this is a brand new engine. This is based on an LS3, and it has been stroked out from 6.2 to 6.8, along with loads of other fancy parts, lifters, head and everything like that. Which does not only make more power, but it revs higher, which, let's be honest, the sound is going to be incredible from this engine. So as you can see, it's a bare block, and pretty much we're just going to be switching everything from the low brain engine, which is in a bit of a sorry sight now. On to the new engine, because all the accessories and everything we're really hoping are the same. So that is probably the main upgrade that we're going to be doing to the car, but there is still a lot more stuff that is going to be going on. Moving on to my second favourite part that's going onto the car. A winter's quick change, because one of the most annoying things in the low brain car was because it had the 4-speed Jericho box, the gears were kind of long for the diff ratio that was on, and obviously it was a GTR diff, which are fairly expensive, so we only had the one of them. So we were pretty much stuck with the same ratio, which nowadays is probably considered a bit of a disadvantage, seeing as everyone's running these big boys, and you can change the diff in a 5-minute rule with different gears, so you can literally make any gear ratio if you have the full set of gears that you want, which will help a lot, especially with a dog box and not a sequential, making it a tiny bit harder to change gear. But we are keeping the dog box because I kind of think that's a bit of character with the car, having the big swoopy gear knob and the big throw and everything like that. I think that's a bit of character of the car that I don't want to take out. And personally, I actually like a dog box more, because with a sequential sometimes you don't pull it enough and it doesn't go into gear, or it comes out of gear and stuff like that. I just think there's more to go wrong with it. That's from my experience from having a sequential and trying a dog box. At least with a dog box, you're the one putting into gear. So obviously with the new winters, we need to modify the subframe, and luckily somebody in Ireland bought one but didn't need it. So this is a Siki subframe, so we don't have to worry about modifying our subframe or anything like that to fit it. And because we're freshening up the whole car, Funk Motorsport has now come on board to freshen up the engine bay and any of the lines and help with the heat management of the car, because with these V8s they do get quite hot under the bonnet. So we've got some heat wrap for the manifolds. We have these for, say, brake pipes or any small pipes that are going to be in the engine bay. Gold tape, because we want to be fancy. Only joking, obviously it helps with heat management in the engine bay. And we have some more sleeves for bits and hot spots of the engine, and a whole roll of gold tape. And we also have a roll of heat shield, which we can bend into, well, protect things from the heat. And now on board this year is Wisefab. You can see their lovely handbrakes there. Love these things. So we are going to be running their products on the car, and after driving Odie's car at Willow Springs, I am really excited to be having the products on the low brain car. Starting off with the half shafts. These shafts are super strong. I believe they're rated over 1,000 horsepower. James Dean runs these on his European car and everything like that, and if I am not mistaken, he has never snapped one, which is the only thing that you want from a drive shaft, to not snap and keep the wheels spinning. So we have the Wisefab drive shafts and the front and rear angle kit. Now we are going to be running the version 2, and the only reason we're going to be running the version 2 is because this car is going to be kind of built on a tight time frame. We know the version 2 will work with this car. With the version 3 you have to relocate the rack to the front of the car, which we're not too sure where would lie up or if anything would be in the way. So we played it safe. Version 2, still an incredible kit. Not the same kit as I drove on Odie's car, but still should be a big improvement on this car.
So whilst the car was away at Vital Fabrication, we got a new tunnel in the car because the last one had been cut up so many times and there's so many holes in there, we just wanted to start fresh again. Along with that, we sent the car down to Joey O'Neill and he gave it a fresh lick of paint, so this thing looks brand new again.
So that is the chassis done. And now we can move on to the rebuild.
So first off, I'm starting with a Funk Motorsport gold tape. Now the easiest way to do this, or the way that I'm choosing to do it, is by making a template, transferring that onto the gold tape, and then cutting it out so the piece is perfect.
Hey, it's Ryan here from Funk Motorsport, the heat management specialists. Our textiles-based materials offer insulation and performance that will far exceed anything found in ceramics and metallic solutions. Whilst Josh is attracted to how shiny these products are, yes, they do look good, but why else would you use these products? Our gold adhesive blanket is far thicker than any gold heat tape, as you can see here. This is due to there being an insulation layer built in to help provide both convectional and radiant heat transfer, whereas gold reflective heat tape will only protect against radiant heat transfer. You'll usually see this on bulkheads, chassis rails, fuel cells and air intake systems, just to try to reduce the heat transfer into these components, keeping them stronger and performing better under lower temperatures.
But aside from all that good stuff, what the product actually does, look how good it makes the engine bay look.
Okay, so that is the chassis done. Nothing more to do, and we can finally start putting all these fresh parts back onto the car.
All the parts that you see going into the car right now are dream parts. They are the best of the best, and they really are going to transform the car into the best it's ever been. So first off, we're going to build up the rear subframe, first by putting the diff in, and then putting on all the Wisefab arms. We're doing this on the floor and jack stand so we can do it all in one go, and then all we've got to do is lower the car onto it and bolt it up.
So rear subframe, diff, Wisefab, just waiting on the bearings so we can fit the hubs, but that is pretty much done. And too eager, Wayne.
Oh, very eager.
Look at those bomb dazzlers.
Not used to the fancy stuff.
So last year we ran the BR range, which is absolutely fine, but we've gone fancier this year. So are these freeway adjustable?
Yeah, we're really fancy now. We're going to have to go back to school on these ones, Josh.
I was going to say, I wish I could explain these. I'm not sure where the freeway adjustable is, up, down, and to the side.
Well, you have soft, hard, fast and slow.
What Josh failed to mention about the three-way is you get 30 clicks of rebound, 12 clicks of low-speed compression, 20 clicks of high-speed compression, meaning you can dial your car into any track in any condition, whatever you need.
Well, it's Sunday and we're back at this engine again. But Josh is annoying me because this engine actually has one hole all welded up for the main feed. So Josh was wondering what we're going to do Monday morning. So I had to come in and tap this hole and put a plug in it, just to keep Josh quiet and stop him texting me of a Sunday. So the next thing we have to do now is these bolts here are cut shorter, so the dry sump panel fit on it. We have to cut these lads, and hopefully we've another problem solved.
Okay, so back in after the weekend, after superstar YouTube Wayne Curran here.
It's great to have you behind the camera now.
I've not actually seen the footage of Wayne yet, but I can only imagine it is spectacular. So you had a busy weekend putting all the auxiliaries on the front of the engine, which was...
We had a bollock, but I explained everything in the video, so you can edit it whatever way you want. All the bits from one engine to another engine. Take after that, and by doing that, we have a lot of things to swap over.
You guys already know, but there's back and forth chat all weekend with, there's a hole here, needs plugging here, this, that, everything, but everything's on there now.
It's all ready to go there now. Ready to lift it into place.
Well, I think you gotta lower it into place.
Yeah, but then we have to lift it up a small bit then as well.
You know what, Wayne, you do what you...
Painted this subframe anyway.
You'd be lost without me, look at that. Lacquered and all.
Where did you get lacquer?
Found it in your shed. Is this like the slowest ramp of all time?
No, it's a good ramp.
It's gonna be 4 days before we get the engine in the car.
You only have 3.
I laugh, but I'm very scared.
Right, we're near any bars haven't there?
Are we nearly ready? We're still about a foot away. And you need to go back more.
I don't think the car's going to come down
You're about there?
Yeah, but the car's not going to come down that close, so we're going to have to kind of lift it up.
Okay, we'll figure that out once we get there.
You give the hand there, Barry.
Cute little nickname they got. Oh no.
That's us.
How are you, Wayne, you're not going to lift it?
We'll lift it.
You're not going to lift it?
Lift that, so we won't lift it.
You're not going to lift it?
Strap there. Huh? It's a strap, not lift it.
Next time I press record, there's going to be some sketchy shit. Like I said, something sketchy. Well, I I guess that's one way to get an engine in. Okay, fingers crossed we can start plowing stuff on now the engine's in. So next up is the Wise Fab. Okay, Wise Fab on all round now, and let me just tell you, however much of a man you are, you need the instructions because there's tiny little bits different with each arm, and it looks similar to the naked eye, but probably, as you saw from the time lapse, I got it wrong a few times. I had to swap it around, which is very annoying. But all the arms are now in the right order. I'm just gonna wait for Wayne in the morning, just time them up, because I don't want him saying when something goes wrong. That's my responsibility. So he's the mechanic, so I'm gonna let him do all the finishing, tightening and marking and everything like that. Now we have the shelf of shite that I think we just have to just try and remember which way it came out and reverse the order back in, and fingers crossed we get to the end and we hopefully have a car. Yes! We are at the stage of progress. It's been a long couple of weeks getting to this stage of all the prep for the chassis and everything like that, gathering parts, but finally I can see progress. You can see progress. And it's so nice to get to this stage because the last few days I was shitting myself, and I'm getting a slight glimpse that it may be possible. Yes, we're changing a lot with the car, but I think it's going to be for the better. The upgrades that are going into this is ridiculous. And I can't even remember because this video goes so far back. I think this is going to be a Driftmaster spec car. There's nothing on this car that isn't Driftmaster spec, which is kind of a dream if I'm going to be honest, from when I started this whole adventure of being a videographer and everything like that, to owning a drift car, and then to this is just bonkers to me. But we're far from there, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself too much. I think we've hit a real sign of progression right now. Sakes. Okay, so our superstar Wayne is bolting stuff up into the car right now. A very exciting package has arrived, and by the looks of it, the customs weren't very happy with it. Okay, I know this is a bit of a controversial move, considering the Lowbrain car has always had ITBs, and I know that is part of the sound of the Lowbrain car, but for this engine, we want the max amount of power we can get, and that's why we've gone for a Holley intake. Along with that, we have fuel rails, which, fingers crossed, will go with the injector, so we don't have to buy more injectors. But just from throwing it on in that quick brief moment, we've seen a problem. There is a fitting that is hitting. So we're gonna see if the guys at Maxflow have maybe a smaller, tighter bend or something that we can make this work to save us retapping it and filling that one, which wouldn't be ideal. So thank you to Holly for helping us out with this intake. It was actually Nick's one that helped us out because when we're at the LZ World Tour, he does the start line, and when our mapper Lloyd said that we needed something similar to this, he was more than happy to sort this out, and literally from talking to him to getting this is in like 4 days from America, which is incredible if you've ever ordered anything from America. But now we have to go off and solve the solution of the throttle body fitting, and also we're going to be changing all the oil system because obviously the engine blew, so there's a lot of filings probably along the way, so it's much easier just to change the lines. So we're going to take a little trip down to Brendan at Max Flow, and fingers crossed he can get both these problems fixed. Obviously he doesn't really know we're coming down, but we're just going to land up and hopefully he's going to do them on the spot. As you can just see, our oil lines literally scattered along the floor, and the most variety of cars in a garage I think I've ever seen. Now Brendan, you've already cut all the pieces, am I right?
Yep, we're just working on assembling the fittings onto the holes at the moment.
So you know what, usually I feel bad in these situations, but I feel like you brought this on yourself because you said you can't run old oil lines once the engine's gone. So I'm not sure what you thought was going to happen in this situation.
Well, you can run the old oil lines, but I severely advise against it.
So kindly, I said this before, we land at you and you will do them on the spot, and look what's happening here.
Yeah, true drift games fashion.
Hey, we don't have that much of a bad name, do we?
Yeah, no, we'll get you sorted. Some new shiny Max Flow fittings and hose. This is actually really nice hose for doing dry sump lines because it's nylon covered, so it keeps your nice shiny new paint from getting scratched.
And we do have some nice shiny new paint. Well, I'm going to let you crack on with that because I am absolutely zero use here. All done?
All done.
And as easy as that. So if you need some pipes doing, just turn up to Brendan unannounced and he will get them done in a jiffy for you.
No problem.
Alright, back down the shed for what's probably going to be another late night, but honestly, if you are looking for any sort of AN fittings, Max Flow are the people to go to because they have tested their product against other ones, use them on loads of different motorsports, Formula cars, rallycross cars, every single type of motorsport they've been tested on, and that's not me saying it, that's Brendan saying it, and he's literally been involved in every kind of motorsport, and he's seen all the flaws and everything. He's even cut open old fittings and everything just to see how they're made and how he can develop them better. So I'm not just saying this, best of the best, get onto Max Flow. By the time you see this video, those two cars will be done. This one is probably still in misery.
So that brings us back to the present day. Tools were dropped. We went and built stuff for Drift Masters, for shows, the AZ1. And after a poor result in Mondello, we've decided to reignite the project. We have 14 days from where the car sits right now, and there's not much to be done. We only have to do the rest of the suspension. We've never started the engine. We need to plumb it, we need to wire it, we need to put a new fuel tank in it, we need to put a body on it, we need to paint it, we need to wrap it, we need to put wheels on it, we need to do... I don't even know how much we have to do. All we've done is sat the engine and the suspension on the car, and everything else has to be finished and tested before we leave for Riga. This is definitely, and I would say probably the most ambitious we've ever been on the channel. We have an amazing bunch of friends around us, and we're going to be running around getting parts. So for the next couple of days, there has to be massive progress made. And this car has to go back from nothing to a completed car with more power, more safety equipment, and more aggression than it's ever had in its lifetime. This car is running a V8 that we don't know what power it's going to make. We're also going to run nitrous on it, which we don't know what power it's going to make. So there's a lot of unknowns. One mistake, and we'll probably be back in the Supra for Riga. But we're going to give it a hell of a go because that's what we do here at Drift Games. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit a comment below to give us some luck and wish us well. And this is going to be a very tough 14 days. Here we go. Another stupid but ambitious Drift Games plan.